So Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry, all states and that one union territory poll bound. And guess what? All states that are part of the next phase of the Election Commission's SIR. And cue the political drama with the EC's announcement today, just a few hours ago in fact, the formal confirmation that there will be a Bihar-like voter roll revision has triggered outrage among both ruling parties of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Focusing on Tamil Nadu first, Chief Minister Stalin saw this coming because just yesterday he called this a conspiracy web, according to him, weaved by the AIADMK and BJP. He says all this being done in an attempt to remove voters and therefore fix the election. Then you have Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. A month ago in the Kerala Assembly had said the EC is in a tearing hurry to kick off this exercise. And so he said that the poll body is in a cloud of doubt. We'll get to all of those political reactions, but first listen in to exactly what the CEC said when making that big announcement of a pan-India SIR.
प्रिंटिंग और ट्रेनिंग का कार्य कल से शुरू होगा और 3 नवंबर तक चलेगा। हाउस टू हाउस इन्यूमरेशन 4 नवंबर से 4 दिसंबर तक। पब्लिकेशन ऑफ ड्राफ्ट इलेक्टोरल रोल्स 9 दिसंबर 2025। क्लेम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्शंस का पीरियड 9 दिसंबर 2025 से लेकर 8 जनवरी 2026। जिन लोगों को नोटिस जाएंगे उनकी हियरिंग और वेरिफिकेशन का समय 9 दिसंबर से 31 जनवरी तक होगा और फाइनल इलेक्टोरल रोल्स 7 फरवरी 2026 को प्रकाशित किए जाएंगे। एसआईआर के समय ईआरओज और एईआरओज मिलकर सबसे पहला जो काम करेंगे वो इन्यूमरेशन फॉर्म्स को प्रिंट करेंगे। जिन राज्यों में एसआईआर हो रहा है या अभी होने वाला है, उनकी मतदाता सूची आज रात को 12 बजे फ्रीज कर दी जाएगी और उन हर मतदाता को जिसका नाम उस सूची में है उसको एक यूनिक इन्यूमरेशन फॉर्म प्रिंट करके बीएलओ उसके घर देने जाएंगे। इन्यूमरेशन फॉर्म में वो आवश्यक डिटेल्स होंगे जो कि आज की मतदाता सूची में हैं। जहां तक आधार की बात है, माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि आधार का उपयोग आधार एक्ट के अनुरूप होगा और आधार एक्ट के सेक्शन 9 में ये कहा गया है कि आधार डोमिसाइल का या सिटीजनशिप का प्रमाण नहीं होगा। जहां तक जन्म तिथि की बात है, उसके ऊपर भी माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कई आदेश हैं जहां पर कि ये कहा गया कि आधार जन्म तिथि का प्रमाण नहीं है और इसका ध्यान रखते हुए आधार अथॉरिटी ने अपना नोटिफिकेशन जारी किया और आज भी अगर आप कंप्यूटर से अपना नया आधार डाउनलोड करते हैं तो उसमें लिखा होता है आधार कार्ड पर ही कि आधार कार्ड न तो जन्म तिथि का प्रमाण है, न डोमिसाइल का और न कि नागरिकता का। आधार कार्ड आइडेंटिटी का प्रमाण है। जहां तक केरल की बात है, जैसा कि मैंने पहले कहा था, संविधान के अंतर्गत निर्मित सभी संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को अपने दायित्व का निर्वहन करना होता है। चुनाव आयोग अपने दायित्व का निर्वहन कर रहा है और मैं मानता हूं कि संविधान सभी संवैधानिक संस्थाओं के लिए सर्वोपरि होता है।
Now, following the announcement of SIR in Tamil Nadu, Chief Minister Stalin is all set to hold a meeting at the DMK headquarters. We understand that he's just arrived at the DMK office for the same. This is a meeting that the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam is holding with all of their allies, essentially trying to figure out exactly what their strategy is going to be in light of the Election Commission announcing that there will be an SIR conducted in the state. Remember that the EC is hitting the ground running. They're kicking off the entire process tonight because the voter lists will be frozen tonight. I want to bring in Pramod Madhav, who's joining us live from Chennai. We also have Shibi Mole. We'll be talking to her about what's happening in Kerala. But Pramod, to you first on the news break on our screens. Emergency meet that's been called by the DMK. What exactly is going to be the DMK strategy to kind of take on the Election Commission's SIR exercise? Pramod? All right, apologies. We've lost Pramod. We're going to reconnect with him to get you those details of the news break that's just coming in of Chief Minister Stalin calling that emergency meet in Tamil Nadu. He's meeting, in fact, with all of their allies, with the DMK's allies, to figure out exactly how they will go ahead and counter the EC's announced exercise. Chief Minister Stalin just yesterday had referred to this as a conspiracy, saying it's an attempt to snatch away voting rights of women, of the working class, of SCs, as he's put it. Pramod Madhav is live with me now from Chennai. Pramod, get us those details of the meeting that's currently underway.
Certainly, Lakshita, we are at the headquarters of DMK, and behind us you could see the Chief Minister's vehicle, which has also reached around 6 p.m. over here, and we saw Vaiko, MDMK leader, the minister from DMK, that is Sangam Tenar, so senior minister, also MPs T.R. Balu and N.R. Ilongo, who actually gives a lot of legal advice to the Chief Minister's team. All are over here, and they have also called in for the leaders from other parties as well, which also includes Congress and various other ally parties of DMK in the state of Tamil Nadu, since in Tamil Nadu it is the DMK that leads the alliance over here. And the Chief Minister very clearly had said already that he will oppose SAR. He does not trust SAR. He calls this as a conspiracy web, and he also says that BJP and AIADMK is trying to delete the voters list, especially of women, minorities and working class. This was the words that was used by the Chief Minister yesterday as he spoke and as he wrote a letter to the cadres of DMK. And not just that, even tomorrow there is going to be a meeting where the Chief Minister is going to address the cadres of DMK, and there he's going to discuss about how the cadres should be vigilant, especially booth level cadres, on making sure that there is no discrepancy on this SAR exercise in the state of Tamil Nadu. And he has also assured that if there's going to be any kind of discrepancy that is discovered, DMK will not hesitate to initiate a legal battle. Akshita.
All right. Thanks, Pramod, for those details. Let's move on and bring in Shibimol also. She's joining us live from Thiruvananthapuram with the latest on what's happening in Kerala, where Shibi, you've got a similar statement from Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. He's made it clear too that his government is completely against the EC exercise.
Well, exactly. Not just the CPM, the opposition Congress also, since both belongs to the opposition alliance at the national level. Both CPM and Congress have raised concerns regarding the SAR exercise. In fact, few weeks ago, there was a meeting called by the Election Commission, all-party meeting called by the Election Commission, which all the political parties here in the state, when I say all political parties, CPM and the Congress-led alliance had raised concerns, and they requested to postpone this exercise in Kerala because we have local body polls coming up in December. The voter list for the local body poll was published last evening. So the state is already into that election mode. The local body poll sort of sets the tone for the assembly election scheduled in another 3-4 months. So in the background of the local body polls, the political parties here had requested to postpone this exercise in Kerala, but that request has been rejected. So now we'll have to wait and see what is the next step moving forward. They have already passed a unanimous resolution in the Legislative Assembly in September itself against the SAR, with Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan presenting the resolution and saying that this raises a lot of concern. The constitutional validity of SAR in Bihar is still under the consideration of Supreme Court. So implementing the same procedure in states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, that's all set to go to polling booths in next year. It's definitely with ill intentions, what Chief Minister said, and it affects mostly the marginalized community, the minority community, women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe communities. So it's definitely raising a lot of concern. The Congress earlier had said that if nothing heeds, then they will move legally. They'll approach court, is what opposition leader V.D. Sadish had said. Since local body polls are around the corner, it's raising a lot of concerns for all these parties here.
All right, Shibi, thanks for that update. So we've told you what's happening in Kerala too. Let's open this up. You've heard from Chief Minister Stalin when yesterday he said that this is a conspiracy to go ahead and snatch away voting rights. I want to bring in on this broadcast right now Dharni Dharan, spokesperson of the DMK. We've got S.G. Surya, spokesperson of the Tamil Nadu BJP, and Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, with us. Good evening. Thank you all very much for your time. Dharni Dharan, I'd like to begin with you on what the DMK really opposes, considering we're seeing this kind of a revision happening after a whole 21 years.
See, firstly and foremost, why now? We saw what happened in Bihar, how the voters were delisted. And how
what happened in Bihar?
What happened in Bihar was the voters who clearly, so category of people who are not likely to vote for the BJP were removed from the voting list. We have data from it. And then in fact, Aadhaar was not included initially, right? Many other commonly available IDs were not eligible until and unless Supreme Court intervened. So what did this show about the EC? It clearly shows the ED has no legitimacy. The whole controversy is because ED has no legitimacy. We have shown proof, right? Not just my party, but the
No.
other parties, also common people have shown proof
Okay.
that how from a single room 80 voters were registered, 150 voters were registered. We know during the 2014 elections the number of vote polls and counted did not match in about 30 to 30% of the constituencies, and also the election commission did not release the data until the opposition parties went to the court, and only after that the number of votes
No, but can I
polled were
highlight
released.
here, Dharnidharan, you're saying you have proof of the fact that those who didn't vote for the BJP were the ones removed now from the voter rolls. First, what is that evidence? Secondly, if you have that kind of evidence, why have zero appeals been filed with the Election Commission against the Bihar SIR?
No, the appeals have been filed with the election commission. We have showcased.
No, the Election Commission today has confirmed that there are zero appeals with them.
We know how the election commission works. In fact, we have also filed appeal with the Supreme Court. Why was the Aadhaar approved at the later stage? Simply because the Supreme Court intervened. If Supreme Court has not intervened, then there would have been no Aadhaar be made eligible. And then Supreme Court also went ahead and said that all the voters who have been made eligible should be given should be heard. A show cause notice should be issued to them. They should be heard. So only those things kind of set things right to a certain extent. Right. First of all, if BJP or the Election Commission is very clear, they should have done the 2021 census, because with only one census we know what is the population of Tamil Nadu, what is the population of this country, and then which constituency, how many people live, and then we can also redraw the constituencies.
Okay.
Right. So, but you haven't not done the census itself. So, what is this process doing 3-4 months before the election? This whole process was not done simply because the census has not been done. If census was done after the census itself, we would have the election.
Okay, so let me bring in SG Surya here of the BJP. Surya, you've heard there from Dharnidharan where he says that what happened in Bihar, we won't allow that to repeat in Tamil Nadu.
Chitra, the problem with DMK is people who do not understand what or how the elections happen or this electoral division happens, they are on TV to explain to the people the same. Now you ask the question, there were no claims or objections raised by any of the parties in Bihar, which is again confirmed by the CEC today in the press meet. All the political parties, including the Congress, RJD, they came and made tall claims about voters being removed, Dalits being removed, Muslims being removed, but zero objections filed. Dharnidharan should understand, objections are not that people come and shout on television, but you give documentary evidence to the election commission that particular voter has been removed for not without mentioning any reason. You could not give a single objection or claim in Bihar. That is the truth. Today, nobody talks about SIR in Bihar because you try to milk it, making it a political campaign point, but with no support from the people, you have forgotten it. Today, Election Commission has announced SIR not only for Tamil Nadu, but for 12 states. They have been doing it already, but after 21 years, now there is a nationwide exercise. First, you will have to understand that this entire process is carried out by BLAs, booth level agents. Booth level agents are people appointed by political parties in Tamil Nadu. The Election Commission says there are 211,000 booth level agents, which consist of all political parties. BJP has their BLAs, DMK has their BLAs, AIADMK has BLAs. You know the first step in the SIR process, it is to call all these BLAs by all the political parties. The Election Commission will give them the electoral rolls. The Election Commission will ask the booth level agents to help them in the entire process. In case there is any deletion of any particular voter, the particular BLA of any political party can raise an objection. This is a process that is happening for so many years in this country. I don't understand why they want to politicize. The only point is you have to politicize anything that BJP does. You spin a web of lies, tell lies to the people. You don't misproject all the good deeds to the people and then talk nonsense. I don't understand. There is absolutely nothing for you to object.
So Dharnidharan, you talk of evidence. You say that there is evidence that these are BJP, anti-BJP voters who've been removed from the voter list. Where is that evidence, Dhanidharan? And why hasn't it been given to the EC then?
The number of prestigious media outlets, including the Hindu, the data point came up with a story in which, though the men who migrate, the vote, when it comes to voter deletion, the more number of women were deleted. Right? There's so many data. I think SG Surya should go on Google and see the number of discrepancies, not one, but more than 1,000
No,
discrepancies.
so we had reported on it too. We had
There
reported
was-
on it
there is
too.
a-
On a number
I think
of
you-
them, first, there were clarifications, and secondly, also in some of those reports, Dhanidharan, it was about the challenges in conducting this kind of a mammoth exercise.
There's a funny story in Bihar. There is a voter registered in the name of Katya Devi. Like there's and there's several voters with the face of a dog. There have been voter IDs made for dogs. This,
No,
this has all been
that
in
is fake
information
news.
given to election commission also.
You
Do you want to
talk
deny?
all
Do you want
WhatsApp
to deny that there was
university
a
forwards
voter
on
ID in the name
national
of Katya
television.
Devi? It is the truth. Now why is SG Surya getting paranoid? There was a name in the name of Katya Devi. There's one constituency in Bihar. In there's only one room there. There's 160 voters being registered. And then
But it is for that
fake
very
news.
reason. That's what this cleanup is
minority.
about.
Again,
There have
fake
been
news.
But
mass deletion.
that's Dhanidharan, what this
Entire
cleanup is
campaign
about.
based on fake news, falsehoods, and lies.
But that's what
Nothing
this-
is based on truth.
Okay,
It's the
Surya,
truth.
go ahead.
It's the truth. It's a truth.
No, Akshita, my
there
point
is a
is-
voter ID. in
Okay,
the
one
name
at
of
a time, one at a
point
time.
is-
Dhanidharan, hold
but-
on. I'll come back to you.
Akshita, I have only one question, Akshita. RJD is a party that has its presence in entire Bihar. Could you not find a single booth level agent come onto the TV and say that in my particular booth, some voter has been removed and I have claimed an objection, and after the objection, the name has been restored? This is entirely relating to the ground politics. You cannot sit on TV and talk this absolute nonsense. You ask your BLAs. Today, DMK has BLAs in all the 68,000 polling booths. Today, if the election commission is doing some wrong, your BLAs can raise an objection, file an objection. It will go to the district magistrate. Again, they are being controlled by the state government. Do you think the district magistrate will favor the BJP in a state like Tamil Nadu? Do they really understand the process, how this happens? I don't understand how they are taking such false claims in national television. You cannot fake anything in the SAR process. If the voter is there, your name will be there. If
Okay.
he is no more or expired, it will be removed.
Okay,
If he has
Dhanidharan,
migrated,
your
it will
response
be
quickly
removed.
before I bring in Mr. Shekhar Iyer.
See, first and foremost, my question is, why was Aadhaar not allowed? What was the intention? The ID cards such as passport, all those things that were requested by the election commission in the first place, only 40% or 30% of the population have. That itself shows some kind of a malicious intent of the election commission. The whole process, because the election commission does not have the legitimacy. If at all BJP wants to do it, they should have first, or election commission wants to do it, it has to be done before the survey. In fact, if you know, in Bihar, the electoral rolls were made in January last year, and then few months before the election they started SAR. So it is the intention of the message they show, how they show. That is the problem here. Why you could have done it a year? You could have started in Bihar a year before the election or 2 years before the election. Why just few months before the election the
But
SAR
isn't
was
that,
started?
no, so
and then
Dhanidharan, if I were to
60,000
flip that around and say, isn't it ideal that it happens before the elections? You have a clean voter roll just before the elections.
See, I think it works both way, right? Because our states are really bigger than many of the countries in the world, more than 120 countries in the world. 8.4 crore. Bihar
Sure.
is about 10 crores. So in such a situation, how can it be done in 2 months? So the process takes a long time. And after that, if there are any discrepancies in the the discrepancies in the process, then you go and appeal to the court, and then you have to wait for the verdict to come, or BLAs to appeal, and so on and so forth. The process cannot be done before you. How long does a survey
Okay.
take? If you want to
Okay,
do a
I'll bring in
survey,
Shekhar
it
Iyer
takes 2
now.
years.
I'll bring in Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, who's been waiting rather patiently for his word in on this. Mr. Shekhar Iyer, we've seen a lot of politics over this in Bihar. Do you see this resonating in Tamil Nadu as well? Because this has been a narrative that we've seen constantly of, center versus state, agencies versus state.
Akshita, I do not see how DMK will be able to actually bring up some evidence of administrative issues or legal issues to election commission's decision, because Bihar was a different kettle. Because you saw that in the Bihar, the issue of you had migrant labor, you had the issue of people of Bangladeshi origin being on the rolls, but in Tamil Nadu there is nothing like that. And also, see, the political parties in Bihar, they are, whether it is AIADMK or DMK, they have their workers right up to the booth level. a point that was mentioned by Surya also. So therefore, I do not see any valid reasons, because the only course left for Stalin would be to go to the Supreme Court again. But we saw in the Bihar itself, Supreme Court did not stand in the way of
Correct.
SIR being conducted. And finally, they gave a clean check to the entire process, because the last word from the Supreme Court was they did not see anybody even approaching the Election Commission, let alone coming to the Supreme Court, say that their names had been knocked off.
Yeah.
In fact, they asked the petitioners, where are the people for whom you are saying that their names have been knocked off? So I see that apart from, a lot of dust being raised now, I do not see a strong legal reason with which DMK will be able to prevent this. In Kerala, it's a different ball game, because they are raising the issue of local elections.
Yeah.
Now, there also CSC has made it clear that till now, as we are making the announcement, the notification has not been issued. But there, both the opposition and the ruling left front, both are opposed to SIR.
Okay, Dhanidharan, your response to that on what the Supreme Court has said. The top court didn't, and I know you're referring to what happened with the Aadhaar, but the Supreme Court at no point stopped the exercise.
See, the Supreme Court did come down heavily on the Election Commission, which we have forgotten. They did come down and say to not.
They did question the petitioners too. Dhanidharan, ultimately, if the DMK plans to take this up in the courts, how do you plan to stop this, as has been mentioned by the DMK? How do you plan to stop this exercise? Because this has happened. This is a literal repeat. If you go to the Supreme Court previously has not stopped it.
Because they didn't stop it earlier does not mean they will not stop it all. It depends on how you argue and on all the matters that has been put. But the whole point is, right now we are going to pressurize the Election Commission to act in a non-partisan manner. Supreme Court did say two very important things. That how can you exclude a universal document like an Aadhaar card or an Election Commission voters ID, which is issued by the Election Commission itself. The Election Commission was not accepting. That is the most preposterous thing one can hear. And third most important thing is, if a voter is being omitted, he has to be given a chance to be heard. And how has the Election Commission worked? What happened in March? The March 24, before the election, the country had only one election commissioner, not three, because one resigned and the other one also, I think one election commissioner term expired and the other one resigned. And more importantly, the Supreme Court did say that Election Commission selection process should have the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, as well as the Supreme Court Chief Justice. But BJP replaced by see, I'm not letting me complete important point. BJP replaced it, or a BJP government replaced it by, instead of the opposition leader, they replaced by Union Minister from the BJP, which means BJP has two votes, and then the opposite, and there's and then there's opposition.
No, I get
leader.
your point.
So
you're saying that the Election Commission is compromised.
There is partisan behavior in selection of Election Commissioner.
Okay,
So
quickly, I'm running out of time. I'll give Surya a chance to respond to what you're saying, Dhanidharan, because I'm running out of time. Surya, go ahead, your closing comments.
Previously, in the UPA government, or until the UPA government, you did not even have the leader of opposition in the committee to select the people who were mentioned by Dhanidharan. The Supreme Court made a makeshift arrangement. It said, for time being, until you enact in law, the Supreme Court judge will be part of the commission that will select the chief electoral officer or the chief election commissioner in the country. Now, previously, it was only one person, the Prime Minister, who decided the chief election commissioner. Today, you have leader of opposition, law minister, and also the Prime Minister of this country who will decide the chief election commissioner.
What does it make?
The government is elected by the people to run it. We do not want the opposition party to run the government here. People have given us the mandate. People have given us the mandate, and we know whom to appoint, and it is our mandate, and we will appoint.
We'll leave it at that. Gentlemen, we'll leave it at that. I'm run out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me, Mr. Dhanidharan, Mr. Surya, and Mr. Shekhar Iyer. Thank you all very much for your time, for joining me. This, essentially, the announcement that's been made by the Election Commission just sets the stage for the political showdown in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, in Puducherry, over the issue of SIR. We've seen it play out in Bihar, but now the DMK is saying that, look, we will go to the court on this. So in all likelihood, they're going to be also moving the Supreme Court against the Election Commission's exercise.